What's this?
Hello, welcome back to the Freak Show. Bumpy McSquigums here. I want to thank you all for joining me as I continue with my Let's Play of Torment Tides of Numenera. We are going to try to level up, if we can figure out how to do that exactly. Hey, tutorial advancement. Spend your experience points by clicking the plus button next to your experience meter on the left side of the screen. You can choose between 4 advancement steps. When you gain all 4 steps, you will increase your tier, unlocking a new selection of abilities and other bonuses. Fantastic. Alright, so we can click that. Select one of the following options to spend your experience points. You can select each option once per tier. So apparently we have improved abilities already. Extra effort. Increase edge. What does that do? Increase edge in the pool of your choice. Edge provides a bonus to all tasks and challenges that use a particular stat. For each point of edge in that stat, you can use 1 level of effort at no stat pool cost. Cool. Edge also reduces the active cost of abilities, eventually making some free to activate. We can increase the stat pools in and of themselves. I mean, that's simple enough. Kind of straightforward. Extra effort. Increasing your maximum effort level will allow you to spend more effort when performing tasks. Right now, we're at level 2. I guess we'd go up to 3. I thought we could already spend 3 points. Maybe we start with using 1. And then we can do 2 more. Now we can do 3 more, so a total of 4. Nah, I think that's fine. And skill. Oh, this is kind of nice. What does this do? Last cast off can gain access to memories of previous consciousnesses. This skill represents your focus and acumen when attempting to recall those experiences. 15% bonus per level on difficult tasks marked with this skill. Interesting. Machinery, we have endurance. This increases our health straight up. Intimidation. Different kind of persuasion where you use your reputation, false or not, and other threats to get others to do what you want. I think our first... I think the edge sounds like it's actually the best. Let's do edge on speed. Okay, I did that. I can do it again? Oh, apparently I can do it again. Do we level more than once? Is that the case? I'll go with the increase in stat pools, I suppose. 2 points, we'll do 1 and 1. I'm fine with that. Okay, and our next tier we'll be able to do soon, but not yet. Alright, so we have our big 2-handed weapon ready to go and murder people, crush skulls, and all that sorts of things. Practiced in armor, gain 3 speed, armor cost reduction, might cost reduction. Reduces the penalty of esoteric attacks incurred by armor. Interesting. Alright, you should be able to level up too, my friend. Alright, you have already these 2 things, and this 1 thing, so we only have 2 more to do with you. Increase edge. Guess we'll do it with might. Confirm. And that's all you've got for right now, friend. You're nearly there. And we're pretty far away for the rest of it. Alright, so that was pretty cool. I like that. That was neat. Let's take a quick gander at our current backpack. Huh. What is this guy specifically good at? Does it say anything about... He's a cagey jack who knows how to take care of himself. Tiberius has a talent for juggling words, and it's difficult to pin him down to any particular truth. Jacks are intrepid explorers and adventurers. They are the jacks of all trade. Yeah, we know that. Hasn't lived this long without learning how to survive, even if it's sometimes at others' expense. He seems to be overly quick. Maybe what we'd like to do is give the crossbow to him. What kind of skills do you have? You have a Sucker Punch. Deals weapon damage 3 if the target is has a negative fettle conferred dazed. Elocutioner. Okay. Flex skill. Choose one exploration, lore, or conversation skill plus 1 level training. Or training level in that skill while active. I can't... We don't have weapon skills, is that correct? Well, we do, don't we? Do we have, like I was trained in two-handed... Where does it show us that? I'm sorry. Opportunist. Oh, here it is. Heavy weapons. Okay, so that's mine. And you actually have no combat skills, so I can literally give you whatever I want. Okay, that's fine. Well, guess what? You're losing the shield, buddy. You're going to get the crossbow. You have become a ranged individual. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Alright. We've talked to Prada. I think we did, anyway. Let's see. In the shadows cast by the folds of this merchant's cowl, you glimpse hints of verdant chitin and amber mandibles erupting from pale human flesh. Her voluminous robes cannot hide the fact that her movements are off, as if too many joints inhabit too little of a space. But her voice is a warm, tumbling flood of spoken thoughts and impulses. A fair afternoon to you. Warm, isn't it? Something begins humming in one of her many pockets, and her brilliant, multifaceted eyes flicker toward an invisible point in the distance. Well, not as warm as it could be. This is the warmest minute of the week by a considerable margin. She trails off, but the hum continues. Oh, you have one of those tattoos too. Anyway, can I interest you in some prime artifacts? Dusty relics? Numenera of uncertain origin? Well, I've never visited the city before. Can you tell me about it? No, she laughs, and it sounds like a cloud of insects taking flight. I'll do better than that. Tell me anything about this place that worries you, and I'll make it better. That's a guarantee. Well, what part of the city should I see first? All of it. Take it from me. Everything is worth seeing. Even the boring bits. Take your time, talk to everyone you meet, and keep your eyes open. Are there any dangers in the area I should avoid? Not at all, Prada says, waving her claws at you. I heard so many rumors about how the underbelly was ruled by vicious thugs, but when I went down there to make a trade, no one so much as glared at me. She hesitates. Of course, they were probably worried I was going to snip their heads off. But the underbelly is fascinating, and worth the risk. Most everywhere is. Do you? Tiberius says, leaning over to look at her shrouded hands. Snip heads off, I mean. You don't seem the type. I might be, Prada says brightly. I've never had to find out. He leans back out of snipping range with a fixed, polite smile. That's kind of funny. Alright, let's see here. I'm still finding my way. Think I can get a discount on your goods? Well, she says, looking momentarily uncertain. It's like watching a lone cloud passing across the summer sky. You know what? I'll give you a discount on everything I carry from now until the last star in the sky collapses. Or, you know, one of us dies. Can't do a thing about that, she laughs again, clearly unworried by the prospect. Let's talk about something else. Absolutely, she says. Something whirs beneath her cloak, and she swats playfully at it. You appear to be transforming into an insect. I know, isn't it fantastic? I think it might be caused by the intermingling fields of the Numenera I use to organize my thoughts. Or the ones I'm selling. Maybe all of them. You never know how a variety of ciphers will interact with each other. They are such fun. Tell me about the Numenera you use to organize your thoughts. Oh, it's simple. Sort of. Prada pulls 3 tiny Numenera from her robes, a buzzing bird figurine, a green music box, and a circular spring. I have too many thoughts. If I try to hold them all in one brain, I just stand and drool, you know? So each of these have a slightly different purpose. Which one do you want to hear about? The bird. Birdie's pretty simple. If I'm running with a great thought and I don't have time to complete, it, I guess. Or that I don't have time to complete. Okay, I shunt it into her so I can pick it up back up later. She does make everything smell like berries, though. It's weird. The music box? Jade Box is a tough old lady. If I'm rolling with a more complex line of thinking, I bring her up and she chomps the individual ideas and feeds them back to me. I try to use her as little as possible because she gives me headaches. No, what's the opposite? Head eases? Prada frowns. Anyway, they're worse than headaches because you can go around thinking everything's alright. It's bad for your health. Okay, and the circular spring? That's Rounda. She is a bit scary. I can shunt a bunch of thoughts into her, but she doesn't process them. She just gives them back to me, slightly changed, and infinitely better than when they went in. Prada leans in conspiratorially. I try not to use her much, she whispers. It feels like cheating. Do I want to buy one or not? Let's talk about something else before we go back to that. I'm looking for someone who can repair a complex machine. Can you help? Oh, I'd love to. Complex machines are my favorite, but no, I shouldn't. I'm really behind on work orders this month. This may surprise you, but I'm very, very, very easily distracted. She shrugs beneath her robes. I'm better off with someone else. Sorry. You said someone else had my tattoo? Who? Oh, right, a pale lady. She wanted me to fix an artifact of hers, but I couldn't make any sense of it. And that is rare, let me tell you, or believe me. Prada sighs. I felt sorry for her, to tell you the truth. She seemed sad, like she'd lost something and was never going to get it back. Well, I'm looking for that woman you mentioned. Was her name Matkina? Do you remember where she went? I don't know anything else about her, she says, though you can't see her face. You hear the frown. I wish I could help you more. Oh, I want to use that discount we talked about. Alright, what are we looking at here? Cryophorus Dart. Interesting. Let's see, a Reconstitutor. It's a healing thing. What do we have? A Phased Detonation. Oh, that sounds awful. That's a cipher. So is that. Actually, everything past this right here is a cipher, I believe. Contingent subroutine. Next time a character is reduced to 50% or less in health or in any stat pool, automatically refill health and all stat pools. Oh, that's interesting. Third man cipher. Refill health, might, speed, intellect for all party members. Wow, that's pretty legit. Yeah, lots of ciphers. It's going to take a while for me to get used to the concept behind the ciphers. I know we can only carry so many, and they only have a one-time use, which makes me nervous to use them, but it looks like there are several all scattered around that we should and probably can use. Let's talk to Jeharam. The child skids to a halt and rubs his forehead with a grimy forearm, leaving arrow tracks of dirt across his ruddy skin. Hey, Shava, he pants, shading his eyes from the sun, grinning up at you. Never seen you before. He called me Shava. What does that mean? Huh? And Jeharam says, a cautious light enters his eyes. Really? You've never heard of it? I have, but not since I was young, Alagern says, smiling at the boy. Kids are saying that again? When Jeharam, sure, Jerum, that's how you would say it, Jerum, nods quickly. Alagern glances at you, his smile fading into his customary scowl. It's slang from an old dialect, kid. My grandfather used it when he was young. They'd get outsiders coming through the village, dealing tough with the merchants and shoving kids aside as they went about their damned important business. Shova, get it? Yeah, that's it, alright. A nervous blush colors his cheeks. It doesn't seem like he's afraid of Alagern, though. Okay, do you like playing in the market? Not always, but it's better than school, hey? And I like watching Zeophi make sculptures. The ones that go sharp and curly. It reminds me of the monster on the side of Scarrow Hall? Scarrow Hall, what is that, a building? Yeah, Sheva, Jerem says, chuckling. It's a building at the center of the town, 1,000 hands tall with a mural on the side like Zeophi's sculpture, but flat and in purple rock. Don't think you're gonna miss it if you're looking for it, hey? Yeah, you will, Allegren mutters, studying Jerem from the corner of his eye. Scarrow Hall was a huge temple at the center of town, like he says. However, it was torn down centuries ago. Kid's either a liar or a carker. Okay, why are you so dirty? I don't know. Paja and Kellenor make me wash twice a day. Guess the dirt likes me, eh? Did your parents worry about you running around here all alone? My parents, Jerem says, eyebrows crinkling. You mean Paja and Kellenor? They're watching me until my Mard and Ciro come back for me. What do Mard and Ciro mean? Ugh. Huh? Jerem says, looking just as puzzled as if you asked him what hands are for. Mard, Ciro, my parents. You asked me about them. Paja and Kellenor are taking care of me. Until they come back. Marinus steals over Jerem's expression. He bites his lip, as though he fears he said too much and is trying to hold the rest of the words in. Huh, why do you like Zeophi's stall again? Oh, his sculptures, alright. Well, that was odd, to say the least. What do we have over here? Various devices clutter the 3 tables of the stall. Some of them spark and twitch, as if objecting to the proximity of their neighbors. Well, I suppose we could talk to Paja and Kellenor, or we could try to buy one of Prada's devices? Sorry about that, folks. Interruptions. Anyway, let's see. What was happening? Oh, yeah, this guy was saying stuff. We have merchants available. We have the sculptor over there. We have slavers further along. I guess we should... Let's see what the merchant sells. At each shop, I'll be here all day and all night. All week, in fact. Broken dreams. On
my way.
They don't seem to actually do anything. What about the sculptor here? This portly man's cracked and bleeding hands are always moving, picking fretfully at his thick lips, running through his thinning hair, or molding aimless shapes in the air. His clothes are marked with paint, dust, dried blood, and clay. His eyes brim with frustrated tears as he studies the strangely familiar sculptures arrayed around him. A soul like slivers of ice, he mutters, fingertips long, shriveled sharp, screams trapped in flesh. She holds him in place. She's killing him. He's not looking at her. Why? Why isn't he? Afraid? No. He claws absently at his sparse beard. What am I not seeing? What am I missing? A potential customer. What's wrong? Everything, he says without a moment's pause, effortlessly drawing you into his self-directed tirade. Every detail's almost right, which means everything is wrong. I am Zeophi, stone carver, sculptor, divine painter of living eyes. And in this challenge, my greatest work, my talent has finally abandoned me. He sweeps his scornful hand at the sculptures. Behold my art, wanderer. Witness these dull stumps, these crude replicas of a sublime being. What is it you think I've made? Try to recall why the sculptures look so familiar. Sorry guys, I'm recording pretty late and my brain is kind of shutting down. So, that being said, this may be my last recording for the day. Hopefully we make it through. You stare at the sculptures, your memories flow into its sweeping curves, teasing you with what you've seen in your short life and beyond. Yes, this towering thing is a true form of the creature that pursues you. Zeophi has sculpted the sorrow. You don't realize you've spoken out loud until you hear Zeophi's gasp and see the tears in his eyes. Yes, sorrow, or even grief, is present in the work. I feel it, but where? I cannot pull it from the stone. I saw this creature on a cold night not long ago. Smoking coronas of blackened light drew me to my window. Zeophi says, sharpening the scene with his palms. Sharpening? How about shaping? Ugh. Sorry, guys. There on the street below was she, gripping a man in her talons. Before my very eyes, she ripped his essence from him, leaving him a steaming husk. He drops his hands. But what do you care? You don't grasp the importance of capturing such a subject. Of course I do. She is mysterious and fascinating. She? Xeophi stares at you dumbfounded. You think I'm trying to sculpt the killer? He says, and then immediately corrects himself. Of course I am. I've succeeded, in fact. She is beauty and vengeance incarnate. What artist worth its metal couldn't capture such a being? But she doesn't need to be remembered. How could anyone forget such a lethal creature? No, the source of my ruin is this damnable man. Xeophi points a trembling finger at the faceless human cradled in the statue's talons, a charred, oddly familiar pattern etched on the stone head. He stared eternity in the face and did not blink. But he will not be forgotten, he will be forgotten unless I capture him here, and I cannot do that unless I know what drove him. Xeophi swallows. The moment he fell, I ran for the street, but the Dendra Ohur claimed his body and took it away, probably to their foul chapel in the underbelly. Now I'll never know who he was. How many statues of this being have you made? Ha! If only my efforts could be limited so. I've sculpted that blasted moment in marble, granite, and clay. I painted it in oil and blood. It even follows me into sleep, where I weave the scene from clouds and dream stuff. Frustrated tear rolls down his cheek. Even those were flawed. Artists. Tiberium murmurs, rather. You think they'd be a happy bunch. They slap paint on a canvas and someone pays them for it. But no! They thrash about in their sleep, moaning and stealing all the sheets. That's weird. Is there anything you can remember about the creature that killed your subject? What a surprise, Xeophi says with a ragged, scornful sigh. Yes, let us ignore the incandescent flare of the stranger's brief life and focus on his murderer. She's so much more glamorous. He grips his sparse hair as if it were going to fall out and glares at you. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what everyone wants. The creature is hunting me too. I need to learn everything I can about it. Read a book then. Pester a scholark with your questions, for all the good it will do you. And when the beast claims you as well, spare a prayer for the artist who will drive himself into the grave trying to capture your final moments. Tell me about the Dendra Ohur. Oh boy. They are a cult and a curse, Xeophi says. They would have you believe they exist to preserve the great works of humanity, to celebrate life. You may even believe them until you smell their breath. The truth is that they squat in the underbelly chapel eating corpses and claiming it gives them power. That is pretty disturbing and probably slightly sickening. If I learn anything about your subject, I'll let you know. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to break off the episode here before my tongue and throat, mouth, and brain all betray me, and we just start see, there we go. We start mumbling or murmuring incoherently instead of forming actual words, kind of like I just started to do. So, it's all going to end here. I would like to take a quick gander before we do that through maybe the edges of the map, and we'll see where that puts us.
Gladly.
Like, we have yet to be over here, and there's bound to be something going on. Definitely bound to be something going on. Alright, so we found an exit point, which is fine. Subtle energy plays along the cables, though whether to prepare the fish for consumption or deter their theft, you couldn't say.
On it.
Alright, so we've uncovered that. So all that's really left is over here, and then just finishing up our little endeavors that we must do. I'm going to head back down here, guys and gals, and that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow with the next installment of Torment Tides of Numenera. Until then, my name's Bumpy McSquigums. Thank you so much for stopping by the Freak Show, and I will see you later.